Hello everybody, nice to see you again. I haven't made a video for a while, so I thought it was about time. What I'm going to be doing today is making some Victorian toys for the children's bedrooms. Um, we've had a look online. We can't really find much in the way of Victorian toys. We found a few bits and pieces, but they're very expensive. So I've decided to try and make a few. So this is what we're going to do today, and I hope you enjoy this video. Right, I'm going to attempt to make some toys out of bits and pieces that I've found lying about. So hopefully you'll be able to make them too. Hopefully they'll be easy enough. First of all, we're going to start with a skipping rope. This is the skipping rope here. And I found a couple of beads. You can get them off of an old necklace. You could pick up at a boot sale or in a charity shop. Beads are really useful. You can use them for lots of different things. And I've got a bit of rope here. It doesn't matter what colour it is, as long as it's good enough for a skipping rope. So I'm going to cut this piece of rope. How long is it? Let me have a look. About 16 centimetres. So we'll cut a piece about 16 centimetres long. There. So that's our piece of rope for our skipping rope. And then what we need is a bit of glue on each end. Put a bit of glue in my tray. Right. In my sauce bottle. And I'm going to use a cocktail stick and just put a dab of glue on the end of the rope. And then once you've got the dab of glue on the end of the rope, give it a twist so it sticks together. And then you can put the hole in your bead, put a dab of glue in there, like that, and then poke your rope into the end of the bead. And do that on each end and leave it to dry. And then we've just got to make, so simple to make. And then for the handles of the skipping rope, we'll use some cocktail sticks. So put a dab of glue in the end of that bead there. Hope you can see that. And then we'll stick our rope in the end of there, like so. And we're going to leave that to dry just for a moment while we cut our cocktail sticks. Right, I've got a cocktail stick here. One cocktail stick. And right, we're going to cut this at approximately, let's have a look how big it is. It's about 1 centimetre. That's what we want. So I'll cut the pointy end off. So, and then we want 1 centimetre. Let's get my pencil. Measure that. We want 2 of those, one from each end. 1, 2. Mark that off, and then we can cut those. That's it. Just give it a roll with the blade so you can score it, and then it should just snap quite easily. There we go. 1, 2. There's our 2 handles. Put that to one side. Okay, they've now dried for a little while now, and I've got my little handles here. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue on the end of each little bit of cocktail stick. Hope you can see that. I'm going to pop a little bit of glue on the end there. and then, oops, and then I'm going to pop that inside the other end of the hole of the bead, just like that. And that gives you your handle for your skipping rope. Put a bit of glue on the other one. Oh, pop that in the end there. Just the right size, these cocktail sticks for these beads, so that's good. Right, I'll leave them to dry just for, oh, that's fallen off. That's no good, is it? Let's just stick that bit more glue on that. See, I'm trying to rush it. I shouldn't really. Okay, now I'm just going to leave that to dry, and then we can come back and give that a little bit of paint on the handles there. And that's your skipping rope. If you want to add another bead to the end of the handle, you can, just to give it a bit of shape to it. But you don't have to. You can just leave the handle straight. It's entirely up to you. But then that's your skipping rope. So that's one toy done. I'll pop that over there for a minute. I'll leave that one there to dry. And then we'll go on to the next thing. And what I made was a kite. So I just cut a bit of card out to the shape of a kite. And I got the cocktail sticks again, and I made a cross of wood there. I popped a bit of string on the end there and just put some little bits of card spaced out down the end of the string there, just to make a bit of a tail on it. And I just decorated it with some squares of other coloured paper. So all I've got to do now is I've got some string here, and this string here is going to be for my kite. What else? Oh yeah, got a little handle here that I've made. Little handle there. So it's only a bit of cocktail stick. So what I'll do, I'll cut a length of this for my string, and then we'll pop a bit of glue in the middle there. Hope you can see that, a little bit of glue in the middle there, and we'll just attach our string onto that piece of glue and let that dry. That should be okay. And then the other end, I'm going to wind round this little bit of cocktail stick so that we've got a handle at the end to hold on to. Because they made a kite, didn't they, in Mary Poppins at the end, with tuppence of paper and string, you can do most anything. Let's go fly a kite. There, I've wrapped that round the end just a little bit there, so it looks like you've got more on there, but there we are. Wrap that round with a bit of glue on there. That's it. There we are. And leave that to dry, and there's your kite with your handle and your string attached. So that's pretty good. That was pretty easy to make. So the next thing we're going to go on to is making a hoopla. Right, this is my little hoopla that I've made, and I'm going to show you how I made it. That's a nice old-fashioned traditional game. So we're going to make one of those now. And what I use to make these is some coffee stirrers, and yet again some cocktail sticks, and that's all you need, and a bit of paint, oh, and a bit of string, and that's all the equipment you need to make one of these. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to sandwich two of these cocktail sticks together. We're going to glue them together. Just pop a little bit of glue on one of them like so. That's the way along. And then we'll sandwich these two together. because one isn't quite thick enough, so we need two really. That's it. Hold them, put them together and just let them dry for a minute. And then once they're dry, we can start cutting them to shape. Right, once they've stuck together, your two coffee stirrers, what you want to do is cut them up. You want to cut one there at 4 centimeters long, piece like that, and then you want two pieces at 1.8 centimeters long each. So you cut them up, and then what I've done is I've made some holes in the 4 centimeter one. I've made 5 holes spread out evenly. I started with one in the center, one at each end, and then put one in the middle of each there. So you want 5 holes there, and on the smaller pieces 2 holes, one at the top and one at the bottom, like that. You can make the holes with, I made mine with a drill, this small drill here, or you can use a dowel and just punch some holes. It's just so that it holds the cocktail sticks a bit steadier. So now you've got your pieces cut up and your holes made, you just need to sand the ends off a little bit, just so it's nice and smooth, and do that on all 4 pieces. Just a little quick sand, just to take all the rough bits off. That's it. So, right, we've got our 5 pieces there. So first of all, we take the 4 centimeter piece, and I've cut up some cocktail sticks here. The small pieces here, I've used the ends of the cocktail stick, so I've got a slightly tapered end there. So these are 1.8 centimeters, 18 millimeters long, these little ones, and I need 8 of those, and I want one slightly longer for the middle one, and that one, no, sorry, these little ones are 1.5 centimeters, 15 millimeters long, and the big one is 1.8, so 18 millimeters, the big one. So the big one goes in the center. So what we do is we get some glue. Let me get some glue, pop it in my little tray. That bit of glue there's gone hard now, so that's no good. So I need another little bit of glue, only a little bit, because we just need to stand these cocktail sticks up in there. So we'll start off with the big one in the middle. If you find that your tapered end isn't long enough, then, because sometimes, look, they fall over, so you've got to try and get that standing up straight. As it dries, you can just hold it in place. That's that one. Then you need your little ones in all the other holes. Hope you can see this. There we are, straighten them up. There we are. Right, that's that one. I'll just straighten all these up. Oh. And hopefully they won't take too long to dry into place. Keep them all nice and straight if you can. So you end up with a row of sticks like so. Okay, row of sticks like so. So that'll be your one of your hoopla boards. Then once you've got that bit done, then you take your smaller pieces, put a bit of glue, your smaller pieces with the 2 holes, bit of glue on the end, and you just glue that to the middle, just there, like so, and then on the other side to make your plus shape. Right, once your two sides are stuck on there like that, then you can put your other ones in the holes. If you like, you can you know, paint them before you stick them in, and then you can paint them whatever colour you like. If you want a different multicoloured one, look nice. Right, I've stuck all them bits and pieces in now. I'll just lift it up so you can see it a bit better. There, I've stuck all my bits of wood in, and I just make sure that they keep straight for a minute until the glue starts drying. And then once that's dry, you can paint them, or you can paint them before you stick them in if you like. Now we've got to make the hoops to go with it. Before I stuck these in, I did forget to write the numbers on, the score numbers. So it starts at 10, 20, and then 50 for the middle one. So I wrote the numbers on the wood there, as you can see there. And yeah, that's that. And then right, we'll make some hoops. There's several things you can use for the hoops for the hoopla. You can either get a packet of washers like these, and you can use these as the hoops to go on, or you can make your own, which they used to back in Victorian times. They used to make them out of rope. So what we'll do is we'll cut a small piece of rope, make a circle with it, so we've roughly got the size that we want. I'd say that's about right. So we'll cut that there, and I'll tell you how long this is. 3 centimeters, a 3 centimeter piece of string there. And what we're going to do is we're going to put some, I know this is not very hygienic, but this gets a bit of glue, and we're going to cover our hoop with glue and twist it as we go, because that helps stop all the ends fraying and fluffing out. And then we twist it into a circle and stick it together like so. See, that's still fraying out now. We need more glue on that. I need to get some more glue. Here we are. And once you stuck there, you've got some nice, let's use a brush rather than our fingers. Stick some glue on there. That's it. Plenty of glue. And then twist it into a circle and stick it together. And just leave that to dry. Plenty of glue on it. There we are. And we can leave our little rope to dry, and then that will be a hoop for the game. So if you make about, I don't know, make about 4 or 6 of those, you'll have plenty of hoops with your game. There we are. There we are. Nice little rope hoop there. Make sure it sticks. That's it. Yeah, that's it. So once you've painted it up and you've got all your hoops, this is what it can look like. A nice little hoopla game there that you could play in the bedroom, or you can take it out in the garden, whichever you choose. So that's that. Those are my 3 toys that I made. Show you there, the skipping rope, the hoopla and the kite. I hope you enjoyed watching them. I have made a few other toys. I'm just going to show you those. I mean, if you want me to do a tutorial on those, just let me know in the comments, and I'll do a tutorial for you. First of all, I just made some building blocks. I just got some pieces of wood, cut them up, and just coloured them all different. You can write A, B, C on them, 1, 2, 3, whatever you want to do. Just made some building blocks there for the bedroom. So that's those. I made a little fire engine. I don't know if you can see that. I made a little fire engine there out of a block of wood and just some little scraps. So that's come out quite well. Little fire engine, and painted that up. I made a little boat there out of a piece of wood and a cocktail stick again for the mast and the, I don't know what they call that bit that sticks out the front. Anyway, and some bits of wood there for the sails and the flag. So that's the little boat that I made. So that's quite sweet. Quite like that. So that's the little boat. I made a little hobby horse there. That's out of a kebab skewer there and a cocktail stick. So that's, it's still a work in progress. I've still got to paint the head on it yet, so that one's a work in progress, but that's coming along quite nicely, that little hobby horse. And I made a little fork, and I made that out of cardboard. There's the little fork there. Got a flag up there made out of a cocktail stick. Yeah, this was all made out of bits of card that I had lying about. I think it was an old Amazon delivery package. I just cut it up and made this out of it and made a little drawbridge there. And that's turned out quite well, I think. And then just painted it grey. So I made all these toys for Mick's Victorian Doll's House for the children's bedroom. So you will be seeing them again once Mick starts dressing the bedrooms in the Victorian house. I hope you enjoyed this video and all the toys that I've made to go in the Victorian children's bedrooms. Please leave a comment. I'd like to know what you thought about all these toys that we've made together. So it'd be nice to hear what you think. And if you need any tips and suggestions, I'll try and help. Please subscribe to our videos. We'd love to have you with us. And press that like button. And hopefully we'll see you very soon in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye now. Thank you.